of Satyavan and Savitri. By her work and service, Savitri is keeping the in-laws and everybody happy and pleased. Markandeya said, the king paid attention to the details of giving his daughter in marriage. By arranging for the needed materials, he got everything ready for the wedding. He invited the elderly Brahmins and all the priests officiating at the holy sacrifice, and the reciters of the rigs, choosing an auspicious day and hour. He, along with them and his daughter, set out on the journey. On reaching the deep and sacred forest, the king walked, accompanied by the Brahmins, to the hermitage where abode the king sage Dyumatsena. There he saw, under a tall and stately sal tree, seated on an austere mat, the illustrious king, but now blind. The king, with due honor, offered respects to the king sage, and using proper and intense speech, introduced himself to him. In return, the king sage, well versed in dharma as he was, received the king by giving him oblations and making available a high seat, and by gifting a sacred cow. He then inquired the good cause of his visit to him. Then, expressing his wish and the purpose of approaching him about Satyavan, he described several details that had to be attended to in the matter. Ashwapati said, O king sage, a beautiful and virtuous daughter I have named Savitri. I am approaching you with a request, O established in dharma, to accept her in the just and proper way as your daughter-in-law. Dyumatsena said, I have lost my kingdom, and here in the forest I dwell, living a life according to the dharma, in the practices of austerity. How can it be fair for your daughter to adopt this hermitage life and bear sufferings and hardships associated with it? Ashwapati said, happiness and sorrow are born and then die. Both my daughter and I know of it. Please speak not, therefore, in that way, and to a person like me. I have come here with the due resolve, being aware of all the things, O king sage. It is in the expectation and with a feeling of good agreeable friendship that I solicit you so, and in that disappoint me not, having approached you thus with love, send me not back by denying my request. In every respect you conform to my standing, and you are acceptable to me as I too for you. Kindly then consent to receive my daughter as a bride for Satyavan, and a good daughter-in-law for you. Dyumatsena said, it had been my long cherished desire to have a family tie with you, and with the loss of the kingdom, I thought I had lost all hope for such a relationship. But if this old wish of mine, which I always held close to me, is to be fulfilled by coming back this way, then let it be so. You are my most welcome and honorable guest. Markandeya said, then, inviting all the learned Brahmins and the dwellers of the ashram of that forest, the two kings, in their assembly, and following the prescribed rites and ceremonies, performed the marriage. Ashwapati, after giving his daughter and having extended several presents, and extremely pleased as he was, returned to the palace. Satyavan was happy to have such a beautiful wife, endowed with noble and fine qualities, and she too was joyous that her heart's desire had been fulfilled in him as her husband. After the departure of her father, she laid aside all the rich ornaments and robes, and began wearing bark garments and red-dyed clothes. With the service and with other similar qualities of courtesy and humility, of poise and great composure in the conduct, and by doing the varied duties to each one's satisfaction, she kept all pleased and happy. She looked after the physical needs of her mother-in-law and took care of her clothes. Also, whatever little she spoke to her father-in-law, restraining herself, she did so with godly respect and reverence for him. In a like manner, with sweet and loving speech, and ever proficient, always remaining calm and tranquil, and in their privacy she saw, waiting upon her husband, that he was happy. O Yudhishthir, thus in that ashram and engaged in tapasya, this way they lived, and a lot of time went by. By then, Savitri, with woe in her heart, was languishing ever on getting up in the morning or while sleeping in the night. At every moment, what Narad had foretold, those words constantly remained in her mind.